Hi folks, thank you so much for downloading this episode of a work in progress D&D podcast, a creative experiment of sorts. I'd like to mention that this podcast is not for children. Now, why don't we jump into this adventure? Hi folks, it's us again, your three brothers and their podcast. Welcome back to another episode of a work in progress D&D podcast. As always, we have the first season of our family.
Okay. Did you say season?
Yes. Go.
Oh boy. I'm Sean. I play Alex Arcadis, the Artificer Armor Human.
And the third season of our family.
I'm Ryan. I play Pine Deciduery, the Oath of Ancients Paladin.
And the second
The second
season of the family, me, Eric, I play everyone else, and I'm also the GM of this. So, without further wacky introduction, why don't we just jump on in, because we got an interesting conclusion to this part of the story. So, let's go. Time for a recap. Last time, our adventurers had fought off some Claws of Justice, the Knights of the Platinum Order, and discovered that they were not in their control of their own body. So with some very handy dispel magics, they became essentially freed of this magic and then also sequentially knocked unconscious. With that, they adventured up to the Green Duke's chambers, defeated a couple other Platinum Guard, or the Claws of Justice, and Siegfried was reunited with his grandfather. And while searching through the room, it occurred to our players that they could hear the soft echoing of a knight's armor going down some stairs, and revealed a secret door behind a bookshelf that seemed to lead even farther down into the Green Keep. Going down these stairs ahead of Siegfried while he took care of his grandfather, they came down to a long hallway with a massive sort of circular door at the end of it, and by this door was a magically controlled Sir Edmund Brightblade with a magically corrupted looking Father Preston. Battle ensued. Fighting was had. Both of our players went down and were and then brought back up by this strange, magical lines, with Alex for the first time experiencing one, but Pine for the second time experiencing two of these strange magical threads, which, through this strange power and Father Preston not expecting it, essentially ended his life, and also with the help of Siegfried eventually making it down to bolster our companions. And with that, we find ourselves in this hallway, an unconscious but otherwise safe Sir Edmund Brightblade, the corpse of Sir Father Preston, having also dropped a strange four-pronged key, and then our two heroes, Siegfried and Displacer Beast. I must say, this is not entirely what I expected to find when I followed these stairs down. Oh, God. Are you all right?
I've been better.
Which I will say, the time frame has stopped. You both kind of, the silver energy evaporates from your body, and so right now, Pine, you both actually just have one level of exhaustion. But Alex, you have a -1 to all your rolls for, let's just say the next hour.
Okay.
Pine, you have -2 to all your rolls for the next 2 hours.
Okay.
All right.
So,
I'll just say this: I'm like standing, but I'm like extremely tired. And as soon as the silver light fades, my armor also, like, my magic armor, like, dissipates as well. But I grab onto my, the opal and amulet, and I just look at it, and I just smile a little bit. Whew.
And Pine is kind of just sitting like half cross-legged, one leg out, and just kind of resting on Hoarfrost, just kind of as a cane or as something to lean on.
Your displacer beast kind of comes up and like nuzzles you and
Was it?
Which then you also
I'm trying to remember. Was he gone or?
No, he was still there.
Oh, okay.
He was
he was
very
incredibly
hurt.
wounded.
Okay.
He was very
okay.
very
I
hurt.
couldn't remember.
But like coming over, licking its own wounds, and then also sequentially licking Pine's wounds as well, which whether or not actually helps you or not,
Right. And just petting Dispy, he'll say, "Oh, you deserve quite a bit of rest there, Dispy, and I can ball shape.
You know what? Why not?
Yeah, just recall him like a Pokeball."
Yeah, recall him, but that's gonna be it. You can't call him back.
Now you see a soundboard with the Pokemon return sound effect.
Bling. Boom, boom. I also say you hear a an honor as you turn around and see Sir Edmund Brightblade, helmet down, but you can actually kind of see with his snoring it kind of clanks a bit, and just like
It's like ting 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 ting
clank clank clank
ting 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 ting.
clank 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 clank. As he's unconscious and sleeping. But you watch as Siegfried just kind of comes over to the body of Father Preston and just kind of looks it over, but then like kneels down and picks up the strange four-pronged key, in the sense that it's like what's the best way to describe it? Like a cross with the prongs shooting. So it's a cross shape.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
the handle of the key, and then there's a cross on the like end of it with prongs shooting up again, if that makes sense.
Okay, it's not like flat like this. It's more like a
No.
see it.
Yeah, it's not like a fork. It's almost like if you were to take two tuning forks and sort of intersect them.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, so across and then it's kind of looks like, and you look over at this large door, and it seems to be of elven design, and it actually looks to depict from a glance essentially elven caricature, not elven caricatures, but essentially elven artistic choices. I can't think of the renditions of like the four elemental planes, and they sort of intersect into this one hole or a sphere in the center, which has the sort of four-pronged holes for possibly, no doubt, this key. And Siegfried says, I do wonder, I've never known there to be anything beneath the keep. Granted, also, what do I know, since I've been gone for most of my life? But I can only imagine what might be beyond here that Father Preston might have wanted.
I would. Is he okay?
Speaking of which,
Oh, he's sleeping right now.
okay.
Although he's better. Yes, he's getting some much deserved sleep, and is not, at least not fighting this illness and poison anymore, though still old, I guess. And I can't heal old age. But I am curious as to what might be beyond this door that Father Preston would want.
Yeah. Well, whatever it was, it couldn't be. I mean, it could be good, but what he was probably doing it not good. In fact, I'm gonna go to Father Preston. I'm gonna search around, do a body check.
Searches. Yeah, I will say just kind of patting down Father Preston, other than a cracked holy symbol of the Platinum Order and Bahamut wielding sword and shield. You don't find much else on him.
Okay. Okay. Just gonna write that down.
Siegfried,
Yes, Pine.
you got a glimpse of Father Preston in that form, correct?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any idea what could have... I don't know if he was possessed or... was something that he was always something he didn't claim to be, but
I don't
do you have any
know.
idea?
Usually with creatures that are shapeshifters, often when they pass, they revert to their original form. And it seems like with Father Preston, him being human is his original form. So it's possible that whatever corruption was influencing him has dissipated with his death. Grandmama told me, or through my teachings, that certain magics can sort of radiate and change certain individuals around them. I mean, for example, Pine, you are sort of a living embodiment of this. You are aware of how tieflings and other...
Yes, I'm aware.
Yes, from the war and the radiation of magic from the beings brought by the Dark Lord.
Right.
And the wizards and clerics attempt to create beings to stop that, or battle it as well. But no need for a history lesson now. But essentially, it seems to follow that same logic. Whatever magic or Father Preston is somehow dealing with seems to have was corrupting him to change him into the shape. But exactly what kind of form and shape this is, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe opening this door behind us might reveal something, and I feel it's soon to be the Duke of the Duchy. It's probably wise for me to understand all the aspects of my kingdom, my dukedom. So if you both don't mind, I'm going to open this door.
Personally, I was kind of hoping we relax a bit, but
I was wondering if...
Well,
I thought it'd be best to wait for your grandfather, but if you're so sure about this, then...
Well, before I do that, though, where's my D8s? And a D4. Actually, we'll heat you up a little more. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we'll just say 11 hit points to each of you.
Oh.
And also,
Well, just be dissipated.
Oh, that's right. Dispy's gone. I totally forgot you did that. Wow.
Well, based on my previous numbers, I'm okay.
All right. So, Siegfried goes over, kind of places his hand on the door to just get the feel of the sort of architecture of it. Takes the key, places it in, twists it, and you hear as it the center circle twists open, and then you watch as lines as dust falls, lines start to inch out, sort of separating the 4 different planes as the door sort of opens up and extends out, and beyond seems to just be a large room. As far as you can tell, it looks like there might be scroll racks lining like the back wall, and in the center is this massive sort of circular table. That's all you can kind of see from where you are. Do you guys proceed to go in? I mean,
Right,
Siegfried
and
starts to walk through.
before we start to go in, Pine will cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Pine, you cast Detect Magic, and immediately the only thing that lights up with magic is this table. This massive table is... and it's radiating transmutation magic. And as you kind of get closer to the table, you see that it is... on the outside, it has runes of all sorts of kind. What languages do you guys speak again?
I speak Common, Infernal, and Sylvan.
I speak
Nothing.
Common, Dwarven, Underdark. Or Undercommon. Sorry.
Gotcha. Yeah, none of you can't read this.
Dang.
But you do see on like, and it's a round table, but at 4 points of it, there seem to be like raised, like a raised dais of sorts at 4 points, and within the actual table itself, it is slightly indented inwards, and on this table is just a bunch of sand. But around you, you see there are racks, or like scroll racks, but there aren't many left. Some, it seems there's dust around, whatever scrolls might have been left open have like crumbled away, but the few that are left are sealed within very tight scroll cases. I will say, Pine, with this Detect Magic, you do notice that those 4 points of the table seem to be radiating like most of the magic. So there's maybe like 5 scrolls, right? Yeah, about 5 scrolls here, or within the scroll racks that are still sealed and not dissolved, and then there's this massive table in front of you.
Okay.
And Siegfried kind of looks as, well, I must say this is not at all what I was expecting. I was honestly expecting something
more. I
Yes.
would happen to agree. There's something magic about that table, though.
Yes, I can feel it.
Yeah, I actually thought this was just gonna be a portal or something, but I guess not.
I won't lie, I mean, the scrolls definitely show some interest as I guess this table, but I won't lie, I'm a little underwhelmed. What could he have been looking for here?
Just for the hell of it, I'm gonna cast Identify on the table.
Okay. You cast Identify on the table. And you essentially get
I'll just say this. Like, I bring out my goggles
goggles.
and, like, yep, I cast Identify.
Essentially, yeah, through that, you get the understanding that this table is essentially a map, or can be a map.
Okay.
And it is activated when an individual flows some magic in through one of the 4 points that are slightly raised, as that is where the magic is coming from.
Okay. Okay, so what I'm getting here is that this table functions as like a... You said interdimensional map, right?
No,
just a map. Okay, I don't know why I got interdimensional. And it looks like we got these 4 corners here. We gotta pump magic into them. In order for maybe the map to work, light up. I don't know. That's all in game right now.
Gotcha. So just... Alright. Siegfried walks over to the nearest one, puts his hand down, kind of closes his eyes, and you watch as, like, some energy lights up and goes through. And you watch as the sand in the center of this table immediately starts to reverberate and start taking shape. And it becomes... The sand becomes a map. With the map... You see, actually, it becomes a map of the Rainbow Coast. You can see sort of off to the the eastern side of the map. That's where like the edge of the Grey River is, and slightly just showing a bit of the Grey Wilds. Up to the north, you have like the range of the Blue Mountains that lead to the porcelain tundra ahead. You see the was it Onyx Sea to the south? I think the Onyx Sea. You can see the actual like full-on coast. You can kind of see a little bit of like where the various duchies are. You even see the Red Mountains, and beyond it, a little bit of the Umber Wastes. And once Siegfried opens eyes, says, "Oh, fascinating. I wonder exactly." And then immediately before you can finish that, you watch as you watch as essentially where the Green Duchy is, or not exactly, but like slightly to the north, almost a little bit, maybe a day or so ride if the map is correct, from the farm you guys defended against, or at least the area of it. A beam of red light just kind of emanates from the table, and then from there you watch as a green light located in the Orange Duchy starts, or like this sort of like area to the northwest, that's almost touching where the blue and red mountains meet. It's sort of like this strange valley-esque area. There is a green light that shoots up from it. And then in the Red Mountains, a little bit more south of, like, but still within the mountain range, a yellow light shoots up. And then into the Umber Wastes, a bit more amorphous in terms of like its actual location, but a blue light starts to shine from there.
So it was a red, a green, an orange, and
a red light, a green light, a yellow light, and a blue light.
Okay. Red, what? And you said red was in the farmland that we say.
So, yeah, I'll give the locations again. The red light is roughly within the Green Duchy, about a day or so ride from the farm that you guys defended the bullet from. The green light seems to be located in the area that is associated as the Orange Duchy, also known as like the what did I call it? The Amber Swamp? That's not what I want.
Amber Swamp?
Yeah, the Amber Swamp.
Okay.
The yellow light is shining from within the mountain range of the Red Mountains.
Okay.
And then the blue light seems to be coming from somewhere in the Umber Wastes, which is past the Red Mountains and is known to have been the sort of location where, back in the War of the Dark Lord, that's where the Dark Lord and like the last hero went off to go face him to end the war.
Okay.
So there's apparently a blue light shining there. So there are these 4 lights.
Of the Fighting Gravestones.
This is interesting.
I'll just say this. While Alex is questioning that, he's also thinking, how do I make a miniature version of this map? This would be so convenient.
What is this? Do those scrolls, do you think they hold any
We
information?
can check.
Well, let's look.
Go over to the scrolls.
He lets his hand go, and the map stays active. So it stays active until you basically tell it to shut it off.
Oh, okay.
Let's find a scroll.
I'll get a scroll.
All right. So
How are the scrolls laid out?
there's, out of the scrolls, there is one that's out of the 5. The first scroll essentially has Elven scrolling over it, and the case seems to depict the very 4 elements of it. The other 4 scrolls each have a different color set with them. One is a red scroll, one is a green scroll, one is a blue scroll, one is a yellow, or at least the scroll cases are. And each one is somehow associated with a different element as well. So you have the red scroll, which is fire. You have the green scroll, which is water. You have the blue scroll, which is air, and then the yellow scroll is earth.
Switching out the green and blue, I see.
So green was
Water.
Green is water. blue because of blue sky, and yellow is earth. Yeah, switching the colors around a little bit from what people typically do.
Well, how about this? I'm gonna search the red scroll. The
red scroll? Okay. So, the red scroll gives not a lot, but essentially reading it, you learn... Well, you can't read it because it's in Elvish.
Crap!
Wait.
Do I have that?
Pine is going to go and he's going to grab the scroll that... There's one that had, like, all 4 elements on it, right? He's going to go look at that one.
Yes. Okay. You open that one. That one is surprisingly... Well, it is in Elvish, but it also has a common translation inscribed within it as well. And you read about, essentially, an order of knights called the Primordial Order. The Knights of the Primordial Order. And essentially, an order of knights, Elvish originally, but more individuals became part of the order as it grew. And this order of knights was essentially created as a sort of way to harness the power of the elements, and essentially were created during the time of the war with the giants and the elves, and how they had 4 temples dedicated, one to each element, as this wasn't just a single elven. This wasn't just like a sky elf or a wood elf or a sea elf or a deep elf specialty, but it was like elves from all over came together and joined in this order. And then eventually some more individuals like humans and orcs, half-orcs, dwarves, gnomes, halflings eventually joined in towards the end of it. That's more or less all you get out of this scroll. It doesn't really say what happened to them or anything. It does just sort of say that they had a base of operations, or at least various bases of operations spread throughout this coast. And yeah, what you looking for, Sean?
I remember there was a way I could like comprehend languages, but I don't think I have that ability yet. Yeah, this
Siegfried can kind of go over and he says, I do speak Elvish if that is required.
It's
it
like,
seems like these scrolls are written and such.
I just like hold it over.
Thank you. Goes through, says, you picked up the red one,
red
right?
one first. Since I figured that was the closest from where we are.
Yeah. The red one, it opens up and it says something about the Temple of Innovation. Sky Elf Temple dedicated to the creation of tools to help civilizations evolve and prosper. It says something about home of an artifact of some sort. Let me see the others. So he goes through the green scroll, the Temple of Growth, which is a wood elf temple dedicated to respecting life and the knowledge of how to nurture it, and also the whole home of an artifact. There is the blue, which is the Temple of Change, a sea elf temple dedicated to living with the ever-flowing change of time and how to flow with it, also containing an artifact of some kind. And then finally, the yellow scroll, the Temple of Patience, a deep elf temple dedicated to understanding one's place in the world and forging one's own destiny. And some sort of artifact is home to it as well.
Deep elves.
Well, I don't mean to make an immediate presumption, but if I were to hypothesize red to red, green to green, blue to blue, and yellow to yellow,
Then
possibility that
these are the
where these temples are.
locations of these temples.
and whatever artifact resides within.
Well, I feel like it now makes a lot more sense than why he was trying to get to this table.
Yeah. But
Indeed.
question though, what do the other corners do?
Good point.
That's a good question. Walks over to one of the other corners, puts some energy into it, and you watch as like the map sort of just like goes down, comes back, as the
same lights, same places. Okay,
Yep.
they're all just
Yep, all circuited to the same.
Well, that solves that then. You know, at least it's always good to try. Always good to yeah. Pine just scratches his head.
I do wonder if grandfather knew about this, but also makes me wonder if Father Preston knew already that this was behind the door. I'd be curious to go search his chambers.
I'd be curious about that.
They aren't being used anymore.
Curious about that too.
Well, why don't we collect the bodies? Well, collect the body and see if we can't wake up Sir Edmund.
All right.
And maybe start going through and eventually get that break that you two desperately need.
Pine is gonna.
I don't know if I'm gonna get a break. My mind is so full of information. Oh.
Yes.
Pine's gonna walk over to Sir Edmund, kind of kneel down close to him, like check him over. He's just still snoring away.
It's just like the clank.
He's gonna lift up the face plate.
Oh, wait. Pine still has detect magic on, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know Sig dispelled the magic, but is there anything left? Nope. Okay.
No, there's no magic left emanating from Sir Edmund Brightblade, and there's no magic emanating from the corpse of Father Preston.
Okay.
Either.
So
Then bang a wipe.
so it's just gonna. So yeah, he pulls up the faceplate, sees him snoring, reaches into his bag. I'm like, still trying to figure out what these could be used for. One was a bargaining tool, and he pulls out the abyssal chicken foot, the dried abyssal chicken foot. That is hopefully very smelly, and kind of waves it in front of Sir Edmund's nose in a form of smelling salt to wake him up.
I love the mileage we're getting out of this chicken foot.
What'd you use the other one for again?
The other one is Wong.
Oh, right, the trade.
The boggle.
The trade. Right, yeah.
Where I almost gave up the ring.
Yes.
Yeah, Siegfried's ring. God damn, this is good. You start to like wiggle the thing in under his nose. It doesn't seem to cause any immediate. You just see he's like. You don't seem to get any reaction out of it, but you know, it's a dried chicken foot. You probably must wonder what it tastes like.
Why don't you just open his mouth and just stick it on his tongue? Or you just gonna feed it to him
Oh, do I have anything
to like grate it?
Yeah, actually, I was gonna. Pine will just take out. He still has his scimitars somewhere. Like he'll call Alex over and is like, "Hand me my scimitars out of the bag," and
I was hang on.
Grabs one of the scimitars and just over his mouth, just kind of lightly cut a couple bits into his mouth.
He watches these shaved bits of abyssal chicken foot go into Sir Edmund's mouth. And goes,
Are you sure you should do that?
No.
You watch as Sir Edmund like puts it and just starts like sucks on him a little bit. His eyes go.
Whoa!
What in the nine hells is in my mouth?
Not the hells, the abyss.
Oh yeah, they're very different.
Anyway, good to see you awake. And I just, without looking at Alex, hand my scimitar back to him.
What in blazes? Last thing I remember was I was woken up at the feast table, and Father Preston told me to look him in the eyes and
By the way, I should mention I am holding like
Wait.
the body.
Huh.
I would be more respectful, but this guy's an asshole. So
What is going on? Pine, Alex, and Siegfried.
and they.
Oh my god! And he like kneels down.
And Pine's gonna like,
No, he's just
I don't need you passing out again.
My.
See if I have water.
Calm.
Sir Edmund, please calm yourself and breathe in 4, out 8, please. He says, yes, of course,
4, out 8.
of course.
Okay.
I just, oh my, indeed. Well,
There's a lot to.
where am I? Where are we? Is Father Preston dead? Is he just
Oh, he's
unconscious?
dead.
What has happened here?
Okay, we're in a secret room in the Duke's chambers. He is dead. And did you have any other questions, or was that it?
You know, no, I think that. Well, we also have. There's a lot to talk about.
But to answer your question, yes, your suspicions of him was true. He is bad, and we defeated him.
Huh.
Yes.
So I was
Yes.
right.
No.
Oh God.
Oh God.
And he faints.
Well, I'll get the business
Well,
foot out again.
He's okay. No, honestly, I think he maybe needs to be asleep for a while.
Fine.
At least we know he's okay.
True.
I can carry him, and very much just like easily lifts
In full plate,
Sir Edmund
yeah.
in full plate armor onto his shoulder. You know, he's got that
JoJo
fucking
body, yeah.
Jotaro Kujo build. Yeah, he just kind of goes, is like, well, there's a lot to discuss and a room to search, but I think maybe a rest is in order for sure.
Yes, please.
All right. So, you both essentially able to find yourself a nice time to rest. The exhaustion goes away, the negatives go away. We'll say you get a nice long rest between getting Edmund to a bed, yourselves as well. Siegfried kind of going and checking on his grandfather.
Do all pines go away? Because -2, right?
Yeah, Pines goes away essentially in this long rest.
Okay, all goes away.
Of sleeping. Siegfried kind of watching over his grandfather, and also even sort of collecting up some of the claws of justice as well, getting them sort of to a safe space.
Right.
And eventually within this time, you also hear from Roma, who it seems was dealing with a mind-controlled platinum claw of justice. I need to remember my own stuff. Apparently was trying to sabotage the teleportation circle up in Roma's tower. And while some damage, not enough to completely dismantle it. And so we'll say, for the ease of this, you regain all your stuff. It becomes finally the next day.
Oh my God. To think that
is true. It
technically
is
was
the next
all
day.
in one night.
Yep. Yeah. Crazy,
Yeah.
right? Realizing that you literally technically only fought a bullet like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So you all get a deserved night's sleep. You are officially level 6
Yay.
now and all
Right.
that.
We rolled for that, right?
Yeah, you already rolled, I know. So, Sir Edmund. Yeah, actually, yes. Sir Edmund comes up and says, goes to your chambers and like kind of gets you and says, my friends, good news. The Duke is awake and is actually requesting your presence in his chambers. Please come with me, and on this joyous day of Oh, I was right. God, that feels good to say. Ah, the evil has been washed out from our duchy. Well, the plague is still technically going, so we still have to kind of figure out a cure for that. But now that Siegfried is back, and he's got he's got magical powers. He went to the thing, and it's just like in my stories.
Indeed.
I'm having a time.
See it.
So, follow me.
And Pine reaches into his bag of things.
Oh.
I swear to God, if you roll for that displacement piece again, I'm gonna lose my shit.
It's a 7. What is 7?
Okay.
Okay. Not exactly one of the things I want. But, Pine, as you reach it and you pull it out, as you let it go, you feel a soft, sort of thicker fur. And it's actually slightly cold to the touch. And as you let it go, you notice it is white fur as it goes into thing. You have before you a winter wolf.
What happened to Dispy?
It's not... There are more things in this bag. Oh,
and you see this like big white wolf, and it's large. Like it is like a dire wolf. But you see icing blue eyes, and as it breathes, sort of icy, like rime-like air breathes out of it. And this look of incredible intelligence from this creature. Not to say that like Disby wasn't, but there's something more like behind these eyes than a typical creature would have, or like a beast of some sort. And it just like looks at you, just unblinking, almost.
I just like look at the sides like, ooh.
And its eyes match yours, Alex, and it's just like taking you both in. You get the sense it's friendly, but it seems just to be a bit on the colder side than Disby.
Pine, I want to be sure this is not Disby, is it?
No, this is not Disby. This is another one from the bag.
You have more in the bag?
I believe there to be. I don't know how many, and what they are, but this will definitely be fun. I will think of a name for you later, but let's go. Mm-hmm.
It follows.
Evan, tell them they're gonna expect a wolf.
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh!
No. Don't worry. He's friendly.
You can look over at your wolf and you see their wolf's hackles are starting to go up, but no other emotion. It wasn't excited. It didn't get growly. It just staring at Edmund, and he's like, friendly. Yes, of course. Okay. He starts to just walk, but more stiffly.
So this isn't its name. But imagine if he named him Snowball.
Snowball.
That is not the name.
Cool.
But...
I know.
So you eventually make your way to oh god, I'm Cedric, Duke Cedric's chambers, and there you find around his bed you see Siegfried.
We're actually in his bed chambers.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So Duke Pendragon, Sir Cedric Danforth Pendragon, is sitting in bed. Is looking so much healthier. Honestly, it's night and day almost with him being
since the last we saw him.
You only saw him in mostly full clothing and furs and stuff, and it's quite crazy to see him in sort of just simple garb. And you see he has a similar build.
Oh Jesus! Oh great, he's the Joseph Joestar.
Yes, he very much has a similar build, if not maybe slightly stooped with some age, but he definitely is built. And you can see him just kind of rotating his shoulders and just feeling his muscles against his. Well, I must say, it has been a while since I have felt this good. And I'll also say Roma Owli is in here as well, with her little
owl friends.
Owl as well, and says, Roma, I want to apologize for mistrusting you and believing the lies of Father Preston. And she says, "Worry yourself not. I believe you two are the ones that I'm to thank for returning my grandson to me when I thought him lost."
Yes, we are. We are good friends of Siegfried's.
Well, Siegfried has also informed me of a rather interesting development that you all uncovered beneath the keep. So I must say, we have much to discuss. And those discussions will happen after our break. Folks, we'll see you all in a little bit. Hi, folks. Welcome to the mid-break. It's me, Eric, and I have some information to give you all. On December 24th, my brothers and I will be recording a sort of wrap-up Q&A session about this arc of the podcast and also just sort of our first year of doing this. And it should be released hopefully the following Monday, hopefully. And if you, as any of our listeners out there from whether here in the U.S. or across the pond in various European countries, if you would like to send us questions for us to answer, you can send them to awipdndpodmail@gmail.com, and that's spelled awipdndpodmail@gmail.com. That will also be in the show notes below, as well as I will repeat it probably at the end of this episode. So send us whatever questions you might have, and hopefully we'll be able to answer as many as we can. And yeah, let's get back to this episode. Hi, folks, we're back. So, find ourselves in the Duke's chambers with Roma Owleye, Siegfried, and also Sir Edmund Brightblade. So, it seems that there's a hidden chamber beneath my castle. It relates to something of some sort of order of magical elemental knights, correct?
That's
Primordial Knights, yes.
yes, that is correct.
And it seems that Father Preston knew of this and was trying to get it, and somehow he had found the key to open it.
Right.
But we don't know why.
Right.
And that Father Preston is the founder of the plague.
That is what we believe. Yes.
And Sir Edmund, yes, sire. No one has checked Father Preston's chamber since, yes? Or since his defeat? No, sir. No one has. Not yet. I see. If you don't mind continuing to work for our fair duchy, would you two be willing to go and search Father Preston's chambers for any clues or information that might give us more ideas as to what his plan was, or possibly if he was working with anyone?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Look at that. There's cat butt.
Walking across. Yep, there it is. There she goes.
Yes, we were planning on
Good.
searching his room after we had defeated him yesterday, but we needed a bit of a rest before we attempted that.
I understand.
Yep.
Just depending on whatever we might find there,
Indeed.
we'll have to let Sovereign Daedalus know. As it seems, because if it's possible that Father Preston was not working alone, there could be others, and I worry for the other dukedoms in the kingdom. Let them know we're going to be a little short on food this winter. Roma, yes. Would you be able to get in contact with the wizard in the Silver Capital? Indeed I can, and I've been thinking about getting in contact with the other arcane advisors of each duchy and let them know that something might be going on. Thank you, I appreciate that. Well, off to it then.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So, Siegfried and the Duke are going to stay. Sir Edmund will actually come with you too, as Roma is off to go send messages to various other wizards. So, without too much ado, you find your way to the door leading into Father Preston's chamber, which, I will say, is unlocked. And so you head on in. And it is a relatively simple, sort of entertaining space, this first section of Father Preston's area. You can see an altar to Bahamut off in by a window, looking out. There's a fireplace, some chairs, a table, a carpet. It's well furnished. And then there's a door in the back of the room that would be leading off into Father Preston's personal chambers.
All right. Does he have a desk in here? Or like a... No desk?
No desk in here. This is primarily sort of a lounge / meeting area for guests. It's not his, like... This isn't where he... It's where he chats with people. It's not where he would, it's not his own, like... It's... The other room is potentially where, like...
His personal stuff is.
Yeah, it's personal stuff. This is sort of just a meeting area. Well, it seems that door is the only way we can... Whatever might be behind it might be... whatever it is we're searching for. So if you don't mind, I think we'll just go over to the door.
Wait!
Yes?
Sir Edmund,
Yes, fine.
I don't know if there's anything that could possibly be off about the room, if you know what I mean.
Ah, yes, of course. Traps and things of that sort, am I correct?
That is correct.
Ah, then I shall inspect the door first.
Natural 20. Come on.
It looks like a door to me.
It's his thing.
There's a knob and a keyhole, and, well, it's got hinges. It is definitely a door. I unfortunately can't tell whether it's trapped or not, and I'm now worried about touching it and to see if it's locked or so. What'd you roll, Pine?
I rolled an 11 for perception.
You can take an absolute guess that this thing is definitely locked. It's not. There's no way it would be unlocked.
All right.
In terms of whether or not it's trapped, you can't tell. But you can at least make the very clear assumption that this is a locked door without even having to, like, touch it. Just because, like, whatever's behind it, there's no way Father Preston would have left it unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of traps or anything,
no idea.
You aren't sure.
Well, I'll roll a perception just in case. Otherwise,
Okay.
I'm gonna probably unlock it, but I'm gonna roll a perception.
Actually, roll me an investigation.
Investigation.
Instead of perception.
Oh, that's better actually.
Yes.
19.
19. You can definitely tell that it's not just, like, physically locked, but you can tell it's a little bit magically locked as well. And it's possible that there is a spell-esque booby trap on it as well. In terms of what the effect is, you aren't sure. But you were to guess that if you're not able to unlock the door or fail at trying to unlock it, that the spell might go off.
Okay. I'll take note of that. But in the meantime, I'm gonna pull out my thieves' tools and unlock it. I'm gonna try out my new ability, my tool expertise.
Yeah, do it.
So,
all right, so you'll be making a you're proficient in thieves' tools,
yes.
Right? All right. So it'll be dexterity plus proficiency plus whatever your thing is.
My wait, hold on. Yeah, so it's +2 to the dexterity, +3, which would change to a +6 because of my.
All right, so you get double.
Yeah, double my proficiency, so it's gonna be a +8. Yeah. And then what else?
And then you also get a +1 from your multi-purpose.
Oh, right.
Mithril.
My all-purpose tool.
You watch as it sort of, wherever it is, it sort of it like liquefies and becomes whatever tool you need.
Yeah. So
to be
cool. So I'm getting a +9 on this.
Yeah. I will let you know. The DC is 20.
Oh, really?
And if you roll under this, the magic will go off.
Okay then.
That's DM to player. I'm just giving you what's gonna happen.
I'm fine. 18 on the roll, plus 9, 27.
Plus 9. Yeah, absolutely. You're able to like kind of go in and through like the magic of this mithril, this mercurial mithril, it is able to like sort of leech some of the magic and like click things and like essentially get around the magical runes that are not only locking the door as well, but also the spell that is trapped here. So it's able to like sort of liquid metal its way to doing everything you need, and it unlocks the door, and the spell like gets dispelled dissipates at the same time.
All right.
So you aren't gonna get stunned. But you open this door, and as you walk in, you can see there's a very simple bed. Like, it's honestly almost too simple. There is also a massive table in the center of the room with all sorts of alchemical equipment, one of which is bubbling with like the similar sort of concoction that you found in that vial that Rainbow Guard had of the plague. And so you imagine and you see notes and whatnot scattered around and like clearly depicting ingredients and things, essentially how to make the plague, which there's also something in the corner, and it's covered in a sort of sheet. But before we get to that, Pine, can you make an investigation check with advantage for me?
Oh boy. Well, that's a natural 20.
Hey.
Pine, as you're sort of...
Which would be a 19, by the way.
Yeah, it's natural 20. So. Pine, as you're kind of looking through all of these like notes and things, you find something that immediately catches your eye, because it's a letter to Father Preston in the handwriting of your mentor.
How?
Which I will say, what is... We don't need a full name, but what is the first initial of your mentor's name, or what you think it might be? What does their name start with? Because I won't lie, I was going through your notes, but
I did not have a name.
You didn't give me a name, so
No, I didn't.
I am forcing you to make an initial right now.
It starts with a D.
A D, thank you. And honestly, you only pick up you would just literally skim through this note, because I didn't write a full note, but I wrote what's inside of it, and you see it is signed your mentor's initial, D. And what you get from this is that your mentor's work in the Red Duchy is proceeding slowly but steadily, and he would like an update of how the plague's effects on the land of the Green Duchy are coming along, and hopes that the key matches the lock, and isn't a fake.
Did we take notice of the letter, or is he just reading himself?
I will say no. He finds it because it is in his mentor's handwriting, and so he immediately sees it first and is going through it.
So, you said he's in the Red Duchy, and what else?
So, it essentially says that his work in the Red Duchy is proceeding slowly but steadily. Wants an update on the plague's effects of the lands of the Green Duchy.
Okay.
And hopes that the key matches the lock and isn't a fake.
Okay.
So we probably found the key.
Sorry about it.
Yep.
It's all good.
Oh, he could trim it down.
Pine will just pick up the letter, and he'll just kind of store it himself, not say anything.
Got it. Yeah, other than that, and the notes essentially of how to make the plague and the various ingredients around you, there's also in the corner something covered in a sheet.
Okay.
And it's tall. It's maybe about 6 foot in height.
Okay, a little taller than me.
Slightly rounded, at least as far as the tarp sheet is able to show.
Hey, Pine.
Yes. What?
I'm curious what's under this sheet. But just like with the lock, I want to be cautious.
I agree.
What does the like silhouette look like?
It's kind of, the only one that I can think of. It is 6 feet tall, slightly rounded. It kind of looks a little bit like a sheet ghost.
Okay.
But at least that's the shape it kind of gives off. But it is not a sheet ghost.
Right. Yes, you're right. We should be cautious.
So I'm thinking either we take a little peek under, or we could go for just 1, 2, 3 pull.
Well, I look at my winter wolf, who has been sitting with us this whole time.
Yes, silently, just watching.
Would you be able to just swiftly pull away the sheet as fast as you can and get away from it in case of any danger?
Looks over at the sheet, moves towards sheet, gets it in the mouth, looks at you.
Just in case, I
Yeah.
was going to say I have my shield up.
Yeah. Yanks it off. Revealing, and you guys are looking at where the sheet is as it's being pulled off?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. So, as the shield is pulled off,
Sheet.
there's immediate... The sheet, sorry. As the sheet is pulled off, there is immediate moment of you recognizing what the item is, and it is a large mirror. And in that moment of looking at it, I need you both to make wisdom saving throws for me.
Okay. Which you also get a +3 to that saving throw because of my aura.
Level 6.
Oh, +3. Okay, that's good, because...
Edmund as well?
Yeah, if he's within 10 feet of me.
Yeah.
All right, hang on.
You said a +3?
Yes.
Well, that's going to give me a +2, because I have a -1 in wisdom.
Hold on, I need to pull up the knight's stat block real quick, because I do not remember what the wisdom is of it.
It's not bad. But that +3 did help me.
What does Sir Edmund's wisdom be? Okay, so we got a 16. Okay. Pine, what did you get?
23.
Ooh. And Alex, what did you get?
16 total.
16 total. Okay.
And the wolf got a 15 if it needed to roll.
I'm going to say the wolf was not looking at the mirror.
Okay.
Just pulled it off, and so it's just the three of you. So, you said 23, Pine?
Yes.
Okay. So, Alex,
Yeah.
you and
Edmund.
Sir Edmund essentially experienced the same thing.
Okay. We've been feeble.
Sorry, I'm thinking of how to say this.
Okay, because I was thinking we just got feeble-minded.
So here's what happened. So initially, like, you all look at this mirror, and in almost what feels like a flash of light and a mirror cracking, and that's it.
Oh.
And there's a moment, though, where you are starting to recall what you saw. And Alex, going through your mind, you're having like this moment where you're recalling in like the brief instant of seeing the mirror. It was a mirror.
Okay.
And then it turned shadowy.
Okay.
And then you saw something else in the mirror? Eyes, perhaps? Either way, because you rolled a 16, you will have disadvantage on skill checks for the next 10 minutes,
fuck.
as your brain is sort of like fuzzy and like slightly disoriented.
Damn it. Okay.
So same with Edmund.
Okay.
So that is what you remember. So it wasn't just a flash of light, the mirror cracking, and that was it. You actually remember the mirror turning shadowy and some form, it looked like eyes maybe, was staring back for a moment.
Okay.
And then it flashed, and then it cracked.
Okay.
Pine. Ooh, well, I just spit on my laptop. Pine. You saw a similar thing. You saw the mirror. It was reflective. Then you watched as it turned shadowy. And you remember seeing shadows in the darkness. There were eyes. 14 of them, to be exact. and also hushed voices. But you couldn't make out what they were saying. But you got the sense that they were aware of you. And once they became aware, there was a flash of light, and the mirror broke. Oh, my head!
Oh,
It hurts.
oh, that was like a mind spasm. What was that?
Ugh. Did anyone else see the mirror turning sort of shadowy, and anyone else see eyes? I think maybe
Maybe a split second.
I will say, Alex, or not Alex, Pine, you don't experience any of the disorientation.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else saw that happen?
I think for like a second, but
flashing
it
lights?
was like a spasm of some sort. Ugh.
Yes, I did.
Wait, you did too?
Was it more than a
Yes,
second?
Yes.
You seem to not be in pain like us.
No. But
Ow.
there were eyes.
Oh.
You saw eyes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Maybe like two?
Yep.
Like a person?
Well, it's more like, and is this, out of character, is this like 14 like eyes individually, or like 14 pairs?
Oh, sorry. Like 14 eyes individually,
Okay.
like 7
Okay.
pairs.
Okay. Yes. But I saw as if 7 people were watching us.
That's a lot more than 2.
Yep.
I also heard whispers.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Nope. Just
Someone knows we're here.
oh. So
I don't know who, but someone knows that we're here.
sheet over the mirror, or does it not matter anymore?
I will say it doesn't matter as you're able to look at it and it's just a broken
Oh.
mirror. So you just see yourselves again. Whatever magic was potentially this mirror had is now gone.
Well, shit.
Well, at least we have all these notes and information on the plague, and we can create a cure. Ow.
Ugh. Okay. How
God.
long does this last again? 10 minutes?
10
Okay.
minutes.
Is there anything else in this room that may pull any interest?
There is not.
Is there now like a desk or anything, like with shelves?
No. It's literally just the big table.
Okay then.
Well, let's get these notes to what was her name?
Roma.
Yes, let's get these notes to Roma to see if she can try to reverse engineer some kind of cure.
Oh, I agree. Oh my gosh. That is pounding.
I would say, while Alex leaves the room, he's still like a headache. Basically, he's also a little disappointed. That's it.
So, with that, you're able to get these notes to Roma Owleye. She says, "Oh, this is perfect. Thank you."
Headache gone by now.
Yeah, headache's
Okay.
gone by this point. Says, "This is good. I was able to get in contact with some of the other wizards, particularly Corvain Stormcrow of the Violet Duchy, Hymek Gemclaw of the Blue Duchy,
Jeez, hold on.
Edwina Soft of the Yellow Duchy, and Pendu, the Mad Necromancer of the Silver Capital.
Pendu.
But I wasn't able to get in contact with Lotor the Generous at the Red Duchy, or Victor the Extravagant of the Orange Duchy, and the Indigo Duchy doesn't have an arcane advisor at the moment, as, well, their last one passed away, and they've been dealing with trying to actually get a new one, but no one has seemed to be interested in going there. I guess there hasn't been much of an interest in the in finding one as of late. So,
Are we, like, with going back to Roma, are we with the Duke again, or?
yeah, we can be, for sure.
Okay.
And the Duke just says, "Oh, that's troubling. And what news did you find? Anything else while searching Father Preston's
Well,
quarters?"
we came across a mirror that's seems to have been linked with possibly other conspirators of his.
Oh, that's more troubling than I expected.
And also, it's concerning to hear that you weren't able to contact the wizard in the Red Duchy. And Pine will take out the note and hand it to the Duke. This is a letter that happens to be from one of what seems to be one of his conspirators, and I recognize the handwriting.
Wait, what?
How is it that you recognize this handwriting?
Well, he was my mentor back in my village. And, to be honest, I thought he was dead.
Oh, things keep getting more and more concerning. Well, yes, it seems we will have to let Sovereign Daedalus know that there is some sort of conspiracy running amok. And on top of that, Siegfried informed me of these 4 elvish temples that you discovered.
Yep.
It seems one is more or less right in our backyard.
Right.
And from what it seemed, it wasn't too far off from where we fought off that bullet from just a couple days ago.
Yes. Well, it seems there are quite a few choices to be made. And I might be calling upon you two to help in that. Definitely be getting this information to Sovereign Daedalus. Let them know what we've experienced, and that there's something else darker afoot in the Red Duchy, and it seems potentially the Orange Duchy as well, as you said you couldn't contact the wizard there. No, and I've heard rumors that no one hasn't seen anyone come in or out of the Orange Duchy in at least a week or so.
Oh boy.
So I can only imagine something else might be happening there, but that's only rumors and speculation. As for the Red Duchy, I don't know. Right. Well, we've at least need to... Siegfried is out and about with the guard, letting him know about him, and we shall make an actual declaration within the next day or so about the situation and the return of Siegfried, and passing along the title of Duke to him. But in the meantime, what do you believe, you two? I'm asking as sort of outsiders, but also sort of the... I use heroes lightly as a term, but what do you propose the next action to be, as I will be charging you with potentially continuing to follow these threads?
Well, in my head personally, as much as I'd want to see what my mentor, Devrin, is, as much as I'd like to know what he's up to, maybe get some answers, with the one temple being so close, I think that might be our first priority.
I agree. I'm glad to know that you also wish to go inspect. But I guess after that, would you two be willing to be sort of mine, or I should say, agents of investigation and possibly outing whatever this sect is.
Well, part of my oath is to keep the greater world safe, so I am more than willing.
It's good to hear. And you, Alex?
Sorry, I'm just thinking of everything that's going on. A lot of info dump. But I am interested in what's going on here. A lot more interested than I thought it would be. So, I'm willing to help out.
Right. Well, I think the next plan of action is you two go check out what this nearest temple is, and possibly the artifact that is hidden within it. And I think after that, we'll deal with the stuff here, and possibly send you on your way to the Silver Capital, so that you can meet with the Sovereign in person, and then from there, decide what direction best to take.
Okay.
Well, things are moving.
Indeed.
So, get rest, and you may leave as soon as you are ready and able.
Will do.
Will do.
So, with that, that's going to end this part of our story for the podcast. And when we come back, after a bit, we'll continue on with the next part of our story. So, folks, thank you for listening. Hope to see you very soon. And we'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that concludes this 17th episode of our podcast, and also the sort of first arc of our podcast. I hope you are just as excited to see what the future holds for us and our players. If you like this episode, don't forget to like, rate, leave a review, share with a friend, or all the above. Helps us out immensely. If you'd like to send us an email, you can at awipdndpodmail@gmail.com. That's spelled awipdndpodmail@gmail.com. Once again, that's awipdndpodmail@gmail.com. Excited to see whatever mail you send it our way. You can also follow us on Twitter at A Work in Progress D&D Podcast at awipdndpod. Last but not least, thank you so much for listening. I want to thank my brothers for joining in this experiment, and as always, an extra special thank you to my wife Allie for her constant support and advice. I have been Eric. I hope to continue along with us on this adventure, both real and imaginary, and see what the next year brings. Ta-ta for now.